One had we started a job today. His job at Suncor, so he had to go today to work. And but we are more than excited to be here with you guys today, and very privileged to be able to present to you today. We're really excited about this topic. We're very passionate students about this association and the causes, and we hope that our presentation will be helpful for you.
This is the agenda today. We will discuss about each of these topics. Topics such as government incentive structures, finance, technology development and deployment, energy education, business environment, stakeholder relations, and knowledge sharing and transfer. We will explain about what has already been done in these sections, and at the end we will mention about a project wherein all this has been implemented. All this has been implemented in that project, and we will discuss about what things that has to be done in the future. So background to this is like the world population has reached 7 billion and it's growing at the rate of 1.3% every year. So there's a huge demand for energy, and again the declining oil reserves, oil and gas reserves, which has resulted in increasing the cost of energy. And because of the use of oil and gas reserves, there is a change in the climate. So implementation of renewable energy resources is mandatory now. So government takes several steps in encouraging particular type of behaviors and discouraging particular behaviors. And it discourages behavior through negative incentives such as carbon taxes. It taxes the rate of $100 per ton of carbon emitted. And it also regulates the market by providing the trading mechanism, emission carbon trading, and it encourages the investment in renewable energy sector through feed-in tariffs. And it also conducts campaigns regularly to create awareness about renewable energy sector, and it also controls the energy market through regulations such as particular investment should be done in particular period. And finance, since most of the energy sector is finance intensive, and the need for finance is essential. And there are several organizations that provide finance to the renewable energy sector, and some of the organizations such as World Bank, the Asian Development Bank, and European Bank provides finance to these or to renewable energy development. And that is organizations, particularly the Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency Partnership. This is a not-for-profit organization, and it's based in Austria, and it's primarily funded by Canada, Australia, Austria, US, and UK, and it promotes renewable energy sector, growth of renewable energy sector by funding the projects. And the other organization is Clean Energy Financing Partnership Facility, and it encourages renewable energy development through making a partnership between the developed and developing countries. And the other fund is the European Clean Energy Fund, and it basically provides funding to the European fund, funding renewable energy projects in European Union. And the next topic is technology development and deployment. And there are various stages of technology development, such as research and development, testing, commercialization, and deployment. And different organizations help these things in different stages. And the first thing is the International Renewable Energy Agency. It provides great assistance to companies in research and development. It provides a base for the knowledge transfer of both developing and developed countries about renewable energy technologies. And the next organization is the NREA Commercialization Assistance Program, and this helps companies in commercializing the particular technology. And the next organization is Office for Renewable Energy Deployment. It helps the organization in effectively deploying the technology in the market. The next topic is energy education. Because of this, there is a great need for the education to create awareness about the energy sector, and there has to be increased awareness about energy among the public, and the key decision makers should be aware that there is an increased necessity for renewable energy. And there is a program called National Energy Education Development Program, and this trains hundreds of teachers every year about the necessity of energy, and it also again the teachers again train the students. And it also has different training programs for creating awareness about the energy sector. Now Rahim will take over and he will take a discussion forward.
The topic that we want to develop services that are available in developing countries and have the skill sets and the knowledge from developed countries to have a contact and a continuous breeding ground of growth has to be based on a confident and trusting business environment. The business environment not only includes the business or corporation involved in that country, but also includes governments, non-for-profits, other stakeholders, local communities, and others that need to have a sound sense of understanding and mutual trust before any operation will be successful in the long term. Developed countries that have companies that are very successful, have strong, knowledgeable skills, and a workforce that is very knowledgeable, need to have an incentive or have encouraged in some way in order to develop and actually apply their knowledge and operate in countries and developing countries. In order for this to happen, they have to see an incentive to take on a higher risk, as well as being faced with more barriers of entry and confidence. And in order for this barrier to be overcome or relinquished in some sense, there has to be partnerships. Partnerships in public and private sectors, companies and governments, companies and civil society, organizations within the culture, within the communities in which companies would like to operate in developing energy services in developing countries. And by doing this, they'll be encouraged to operate there in confidence and in trust by being more informed and empowering their employees. This sharing and transfer of knowledge brings up other concerns such as protection of intellectual property. Intellectual property, which has ramifications in one part of the world, can have other conclusions in other parts of the world. These include legal, government, legislative, and executive orders that can change in different countries where large energy companies operate in. So global platforms such as TED Talks, YouTube, university networks that are all linked in are platforms where professors, PhDs, students have an ongoing conversation. Corporations have an ongoing conversation where they can have input and dialogue. And this has become a strong platform from which dialogue and confidence and trust is built. Stakeholder relations. These stakeholder relations amongst all relations in the business environment must be based on transparency, mutual respect, and trust. This can be achieved through a clear vision, through clear mandate, and through execution and operation. Consulting multi-level stakeholders is a primary way to have this dialogue and conversation. Public hearings in the actual local communities where energy companies would like to operate in have been invaluable for various organizations that are being successful currently. An example that we found is the Bujagali hydropower project. This project is located in Jinjina, Uganda, which is in East Africa. There is an acute need for a power source for these citizens, of thousands of citizens. There's always electricity rationing. There's blackout periods for 12 to 24 hours per day on a daily basis. And so through the power of public and private non-for-profit partnerships, the Agacan Development Network, the government of Uganda, and private companies such as Uganda holding companies came together and have built a dam, an $800 million dam, that now powers 250 megawatts to citizens in this region. Not only is it benefiting the region itself by giving electricity, it is actually reducing greenhouse gas emissions. Through this source of electricity and power, the use of diesel and oil generators have reduced significantly. And just by this source of clean, renewable source of energy, it has provided residents a greater quality of life, as well as a stronger well-being. It has increased their GDP, and it is continuously a source of reliable electricity. And that's where it is located currently, in Jinjina in East Africa. There's a map there. And this was done on a consultation basis. They went to the citizens, they went to the ground, the grassroots level, and talked to them, and not only got their input, but they also recruited and hired local citizens to work for them, trained them, and now they are being productive members of their local region and their country. So in conclusion, my colleague and I stressed the emphasis of public-private partnerships. We heard our speakers this morning informed us that we continuously live in an integrated world of systems that we all have to work in multi-stakeholders, and we have to continue to work with that in order to provide energy in developing countries. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Well, that's a good question. Now, Jenny, you have a number of different agencies and associations, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, there's a lot of good things in there, but they're all in different places doing different things. How would you propose that you sew them together and provide opportunity for people that are in the developing nations?
And there has to be an organization such as UN has to be created specifically for energy sector, which will network all the organizations available and will provide an effective project, effective solution.
So what's keeping the UN from doing that now? How come they're not doing that already?
More awareness is necessary. More awareness is necessary for
More awareness.
In this specific project, which of those groups were involved? Okay.
In the Inchigali Hydro Plant?
Yeah.
Yes, there was the Aga Khan Development Network. There was the government of Uganda, and there was a private partnership with Uganda private holding companies.
So dams like this often hinge on other stakeholders like farmers. Were there so-called collateral damage that came with this?
There was a long consultation process. This project took, I think, over 8 years from conception to actual construction, and they were consulting those stakeholders. And in fact, through the various process of consulting, they in turn saw the benefits overpassed the negatives. And in terms of tourism, in developing whitewater rapids and others, that's what they decided on.
Can you just go back and put the question up? I think it's on your front slide.
Yeah.
And just with regard to this particular project that you used as an example, can you give me the sort of top 3 points that you would articulate in terms of how it addresses the dilemma?
So the dilemma is, how do we provide energy or developing nations with the energy services necessary to continue their rapid growth and continue to lift hundreds of millions out of poverty? So through this project of the hydro plant, not only did it provide energy to the citizens, the electricity that they needed on a daily basis in order to live in their homes or to manufacture things in their factories, which increase their output, which will increase their productivity. This will also reduce the greenhouse gas emissions and the air quality in which they live in as well. So all these factors will definitely increase their well-being, as well as slowly but surely remove them out of the effective rate of poverty as they get more educated and live in better standards.
That's all the time we have for questions. Next team will be team number 1.
Thank you.
Thank you.